apologies for absence. Now, please, I would say apologies for Karen Howard, and also please. Okay, moving on. Number 2, has anybody got a declaration of interest on anything that is on the agenda later today? We'll just look at the minutes of our last meeting and just see if there's anything that needs clarification or whether you're happy to proceed. It is. You're very quick. So apart from the reveries, is there anything else everybody would like to seek clarification on or amended?
Yeah, it's a set.
I think it's incorrect.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't it flare like a county flare? CLER. Sorry, an FG. Yeah.
That's all.
Not big. Okay.
Yeah.
Could we just have a show of hands before we have our second minute? Okay, moving on to number 4 then. Thinking about our listening event on I think most people were very happy with everything that happened. It was great, the bonus that we could get the thing with the people to do the last post and things for us, even though that was a bit of a last minute sort of. I know it was silly, wasn't it? Yeah. What was nice was people came down from church in good time. Sometimes they'd come down and a bit late getting down, but they were in good time. The road show was fantastically set up, right from church man, right down and round to the coffee shop. So that was really good. I think the PA did everybody excited to hear the PA, but I was up towards the church bank end. The PA, because sometimes up the hill, and here is also good for this, because on the hill, that it doesn't always carry right up to where all these are. But I mean, he was trialing it out, it was something like 9:30 in the morning, it seemed to be fine at that point. So, fingers crossed. So I think everybody's all trying to get on better.
Roughly the same as
that there was a lot more from the War Memorial up towards Church Bank than we had last year. But I'm not sure, I couldn't see around the corner, so I'm not quite sure how far it went back up. But, yeah, and all the leaflets went. So I had a small number left, but, Hazel totally gave out all those. So that's 350 leaflets, so gives you an idea, most people, one between two. On the, couple of days before, we just looked at the War Memorial and there was some aggressive ferns again. So we're going to have to maybe get the fundamental masons out to do really seal it, because obviously we don't want water ingress in there during the winter and then cracking up. But the sort of biggest, it was between there, the main cross comes down and then the next bit down to the next level. So it's just a case of seeing whether we do that. I think it would be better to do that before the winter comes on rather than after. So, but that's part number 8, so we'll talk about that then. Could I suggest that we write official thank you letters to the Reverend, the stand-in Reverend, yeah, he was very good, and also to Neil, just to say thank you for his organisation. And I'll send a message, because I don't have an address or anything, to the lady. And just say thank you very much, we greatly appreciate it. Anything else anybody would like to ask before we move on? No?
No.
Thank you. Okay, so moving on, this is going to be probably the biggest meaty bit of our meeting, because obviously we've got to try and get our budget as best we can sorted, because we don't have another meeting now officially until April, so it would be good if we could get through and get it agreed tonight. So, can we just first of all look at the financial statement to the 31st of October?
This one's dated on 28th of November 26th, and the treat of the state, so please.
Right, so, we're going to be planning it. Lovely. So all we really need to worry about at the moment is our little bit at the bottom, isn't it? Have we had all the contributions in from all parishes? Do you know?
For cemetery receipts, I've had, fourth of October, I had a contribution from Stephen Moore Forward, 12 Cemetery. 16th of August, I had a contribution of 1196 from Stephen Moore and
So it sounds like we're not going to one of the total up to date. Have we had anything in from the first?
not on my cash book.
You know, could you just take that back to your council please and just do a little nudge?
Yep.
I think we agreed at one point that we were going to ask them to do it immediately and then sort of 6 months on, rather than 6 months on and then at the end of the year. To avoid sort of stress as to whether the budget was going to work or not.
Yep.
And what about about hours from Felton?
How would you try to
I
check?
need to probably check, certainly I think our second one probably needs to go across into the budget if we haven't already done. So, we negotiate out on transfer. Yes, because effectively we're nearly £2,000 down, aren't we? So I would suggest it's one of ours perhaps in Thurston's. So, just looking at the financial statement, we're anticipating some interest, and obviously today we haven't had it. Will there be interest, you think, coming in, or?
On the bank statements, they usually come in a couple of months, don't they?
Yeah, we need to double check.
They do double check. It's minimal, right?
I know.
Yeah.
And then obviously VAT refunds, I don't know that we've spent much that we can crib back on this year.
There'll be August to come in, interest due in July, was the last one, so there'll be August to put on.
Right. September, October. Excellent. So that figure will be a figure in the year today.
Like £50, a bit, between sort of 50 and 57.
So in that case, we're above what our anticipated budget was, that's good. And am I right in thinking that we had a donation, or has that not reached?
A donation for,
I thought somebody made a donation to the cemetery, but it might be that it's for a bench or something, so it might not be a donation as such.
not with that from days in the,
We talked about it, about where we were going to site it, didn't we?
I
It's
guess, I
a difficult one.
don't think it,
Did it not materialise?
yeah, I think it's just there's no location and I think the collection's still up in the air, where, when or what or
How?
how, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Adrian was going to go back and speak to them again. So it was from the old owners or Gasworks farm or something.
Oh, right, okay.
I think it was used on that. And they wanted it somewhere around here and there's just nowhere.
Yeah, we looked at various bits
It's
down
all
and I
gravel
didn't
down
think
there
that,
and stuff.
well, I said we could put it on the triangle, but everybody laughed at me when I said that. Okay. Anybody got any questions about the, financial statement then to the 28th of November? Everybody? Okay with it?
Nothing I'm getting asked to sort of raise, I don't know if it's the right thing to do, it was just about the insurance costs for the obelisk, Davison's obelisk. So I think last time it was, are they 50, something like that?
Yeah.
50?
Maybe something, yeah.
I think we felt that was probably a lot higher than it should be, the way I think Claire's historically worked it out as probably not the fairest way of dividing the cost up between ourselves and Felton for that. So,
I know that you guys were in the own seeing about having insurances or getting a separate insurance for the
Jen got a quote from our current insurers for everything with, except that, and also with that, I only had gone about an extra £30
Oh,
to our
right.
quote, so.
I know Claire was going to do a bit of searching the same as Jan was,
Mm.
but presumably it got lost in the fog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true, but I'm guessing come next year, if it's going to be 100 very good for you and to add it to yours. I don't know that
if I can have a look at the insurance policy,
Yeah.
like the current one, see
Yeah.
what's in there.
I don't think it itemises
It
the cost
doesn't,
of it, because you
no.
guys can quote without about it, and we'll just get ourselves a renewal, and they'll say, for us to remove it, they'll probably go, this will cost us negligible. But because they have the opportunity where they don't have it insured, they can get a quote for as normal and then with it.
I think Claire was, I think she gets the insurance all in, and then apportions it out to the various things that need to be insured. And I think there was some discussion there about how that value was, and how it would be worked out.
I think what I saw was she itemised the value of items that were insured and worked out a percentage cost of the value, and then used that percentage split for the how to portion out the insurance.
Because the amount comes to about half of Felton's total insurance costs, so something's not quite right there, I think. So I think it's how she worked it out.
Yeah, we can come renew
I'll say
payment
no.
next April, isn't it? I think normally, so we can put it down on the list to speak to insurers, and we can do it, ask them for what it would be with it and without it, and see how it looks.
So they should be able to do that, if they ask them direct question, they should be able to come up with the,
I think they're all listed as being £100, to be honest. Certainly that one by the home order was listed as being £1, which seemed ridiculous.
That's fine, so I'll ask for the insurance to take out the policy, see what it's going to be.
yeah, I think we did get a valuation for it a few years ago, part of the assets we were looking at for ourselves, I think it was about 190 odd thousand, for insurance purposes,
Insurance purposes, okay.
rather than what other, what other property assets Felton has, so it should be less than that.
But it is a significant monument, isn't it, let's be honest? And it's on a nice sizable piece of land as well. Yeah, thank you for that. So you, Dan, you said they got a quote for what, about what, sorry?
Yeah.
For work on that, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, insurance, without it would have been about 1,500 quid, with it about 1647,
Yeah.
so 30, 40 pounds.
Okay.
Well, yeah, 103.93 she said.
Okay. So, with the fact that we're going to look at this obvious insurance, which actually isn't due yet or in this financial statement, is it? I know it's in the budget to come, but are we happy to receive the financial statement of the 28th of November, i.e. it's just got to. That's all right. It's better to know where we are at exactly. Yes, everybody happy?
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you. And Jacqueline, what payments have we had since our last meeting? Have we had?
That's a copy.
There you go.
Maybe more like that.
Oh, is that good?
If you've got your contact, I think it is. So it's going to show you.
What? Oh, yeah, I heard that. Hope when it comes to it, they will repeat their tender. But obviously we've got issues with Redfield, so we'll need to
Next, just speak to the,
look at those,
and see if we just spend on it.
because they are very reliable. That's good. When did the locum Gravediggers money go through? Was that money or whether it was after our meeting or before.
Funeral, 560 to go in. There was a funeral on the 14th of November. We're waiting for that to go in. Possibly a headstone after Christmas, 215.
So that's to come into.
Yeah, the headstone, she said yesterday, all the way after Christmas.
Fine. Okay, if anybody need any more explanation or anything about them? No? So can we have a quick show of hands then for acceptance? Thank you. Okay guys, obviously we need to approve the budget for the year end on the 31st of March 2026. Oh my goodness, that sounds awful. Our life is just disappearing in front of ourselves. So if we can look at the expenditure that we have got for the cemetery and the income that we've got for the cemetery on the balance sheet that you've got so far. I've just scribbled some notes on my one from the 31st of March where we did the year end. Because I think we have got to think about some bits and pieces. So, do we want to look at income first and then tackle where the money goes? So I mean, last meeting we discussed the fees, we did meet for the cemetery and agreed those in principle that we would advertise those from the 31st of March this coming year. Interest, the way money and finances are going, I think that probably will be very much on our wish list to get £50. I don't know what anybody else feels. And I don't think we've got any major expenditure that we're going to be able to claim lots of that back normally. I mean, I know we've got a little bit of a programme to get that bench going around the evergreen tree just levels, but that's going to be a little bit of gravel and some flagstones at most. So I don't think we're going to get £100. Would anybody like to think of a figure for that return? There's been very little that we're going to fuel plants, stuff like that, but nothing like the furniture we had a couple of years ago, or the bin store, or anything substantive. We haven't got a tree surgeon plan or anything to come and do any stuff like that, so I think we should take that down a bit.
Currently standing at about 79, so 80, just under £80. Recoverable bad.
Leave it at 100 then? No wish list? Yeah? Okay. So hopefully if we have a reasonable year, we might get somewhere close to our fees. If we've got 500, 700 still to come in.
Yeah, so
we're not going to make our anticipated budget fees unless the winter is really gruesome and we end up with more trade than anticipated. But given we're 2/3 of the way through the year, it could happen. And there were other things that we added in, like the bench plaques and things like that people might consider. Well, does everybody feel I think we should leave the fees as planned on, the previous budget, or up on them, or?
Really,
I don't. I know there's slight increases in certain things, like we've got event blocks and stuff like that, but I don't think that's going to make a huge difference to what we're taking in. We need one of our leaders, as Claire used to call them. Just leave them. Is everybody happy to leave them as they are? Okay. So that'll give us, in theory, about 3.5, about 3.6 coming, in normally. So any shortfall then we have to close with the prices to make up. So we now look at our expenditure. Now obviously room hire, we have 4 meetings a year. We book them on average for 2 hours each. So that would be £80, whereas we've only got at the moment in about, we're only budgeting 50. So that probably needs to go up to 80, and that doesn't take into account if there is more of road club. Please, there's no murmur of it, it's just that with everything at the moment seeming to go up, I was just concerned that if we're only budgeting 50, we're under budgeting potentially for our room hire, aren't we? So do you think we should just up that to 80? 80? Now, the other thing is obviously salaries. I mean, the councillors had a nice little time with all sorts of money to be doing and doing. So, we need to be ready for some increased.
Standard now ones were increased very percentage again. So
And salaries generally across last year went up by about 2.9%.
I guess one of the things that probably were projects like the bench and stuff, but that's eating a fair few more hours than obviously anticipated, I guess. But
there's also for people that are on the bottom end. Now for reporting there was a £1,296 payment, something for people that were on the lower end bands of their scale, 2 to 34 I think it was, 2 to 43. I thought I'd written it on one of my sheets. So, even pro rata for part-time work, it's going to put our salary bill up, unfortunately. So at the moment, what's it running at?
but we're overspent.
Yeah, we are. And that's only payments to date. So having said that, the Gravedigging put in his bill for funerals that he's done 2 years before. Yeah. So, it's one of those swings and roundabouts, isn't it? But we are going to need to have to put our salaries up because, as I say, with the new wage structure and everything else, it is going to cost us more. Do we set the budget at 9 maybe, do you think? That's probably a little bit over. We're at 6 now, and we've got 4 months of the year left, although we've paid out winter retainers and names. So,
ours should go down for most of the rest of the year, though, shouldn't they? For grounds maintenance.
It shouldn't be much
Grounds
cost.
maintenance.
Peter's bill will probably drop doing as much.
Yeah.
so March is where it really kicks in again, isn't it?
So
What do you reckon? Do we go 9? Taking into account the sort of increase, or do we go 10?
I think probably 9. I think it's
9?
but it's just
said that insurance generally is going up by a percentage. Year on year, it seems to all be about 5 on mine. So that's going to have to go up, isn't it? At the moment, we've got £30. Yeah. So if we leave it, everybody happy to leave it as it is. So that's staying as it is. Our fixed assets. Our asset register includes the war memorial, the strimmer, obviously the cemetery itself, the cemetery shed, the stone troughs at the gateway of the cemetery, the wheelie bin store, the notice board, the mower, the tree bench, and the war memorial commemorative benches. And at the 31st of March, they were valued at £6,742. So,
See the F20, what is that? The fixed asset value is on 2 plus 160, is that effectively to build a pot for the event if we need to replace the mower or whatever?
yeah, but the mower comes up separately, doesn't it?
Yeah, which we've seen
I think it's for things like the sort of pots and the railings and
just general upkeep of that.
general
So
upkeep,
fixed assets, right?
yeah, the war memorial, you know, how we talked about we might need the TLC, things like that. I think it's just the maintenance of those fixed assets, isn't it? But given that we've not spent anything this year, I think we'll probably just okay just leave it at that, won't we?
Yeah, or we just merge that into like a, you know, the ground maintenance dash other, merge it into that pot. Rather than having a,
The ground maintenance is slightly different though, isn't it? I think you have to keep the asset register, so I think you have to keep the fixed assets and the fixed assets statement. So that's staying as it is though, yeah? Okay. Ground maintenance other, isn't that things like,
double check what that agreement is.
which one?
The ground maintenance other, I'm just wondering if that's where we put.
Oh, no.
No, the agreement to, probably looks on the,
No, the graves is in,
I know, but I wonder if it's been allocated into that.
I think it might be right, because there's nothing,
Expenditure.
there's nothing in graves.
Yeah. Right, just reallocate that.
Great, so that'd be the correct figure.
Yeah, that's right, I'm thinking that's,
I'm looking at 1528.
152,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's interesting, there's a piece up here.
Is it in?
Is it just take?
It's the total sum of grounds maintenance, which is 214 for Roll, no cemetery, 88 pounds Pete's wages, 1200 Milburn Graves,
Yes.
Yeah, so the grave digger needs to move
Leaves.
to
graves other.
Okay, and that should affect it now, that moves to, Labour sale to 328.50,
That's now 328.50.
grounds maintenance other, yeah. Right.
That might go up because we're at the point where we have to renegotiate the contract, don't we, with, for well, it's got to go out to tender.
Yeah.
So, given that things have been on a fixed price for 3 years, it might be that we need to factor in a little bit more than that because we're already at 320. And we only had
And that's
240.
That's not within the 280 to go on against. Is this actually 20 with this 280? This
240, yes it does.
So it's got 240 and a 288 for Royal.
It's got 240 for Royal Oak,
Uh-huh.
88.
That's,
It's
that's the 280.
because the 240 and an 8850 for Peter's wages. Road maintenance on there.
That's when you,
Why hasn't his not under salary?
Because it was road maintenance stuff that was to do with his expenses. When he bought gravel and stuff.
Oh, that's fine, yeah.
Yeah.
But would that not come under materials and parts?
If you need it to be moved, it can be moved. Then it was maintenance and ground subscribers put there. I'll look where we got it.
Which can you buy, like the ceiling for the seats and stuff like that? I'm sure that comes under maintenance and materials and parts.
yeah, I'm going to transfer that in there.
What's the materials and parts?
It's underneath the one I'm looking at.
No, on the actual cash.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
Well, you can
can we get rid of that line?
get that and then, correct.
Just put it into maintenance and others?
So you wanted to condemn.
Oh, drag the line in.
I'm not saying it to you, Mark, because
All sanction payments.
We've got payments going out.
just below ground maintenance, yeah. So we've got 4340 going out.
Big payment.
Yeah, so see if you get back to the
Yes, you've got materials and parts there. So which is Q38. So Q. Parks week. Sorry, I thought it was parks. I don't know where it was.
Well, there you are.
just help make sure it just appears as a hot drive.
That's where it was, isn't it? Just check it out.
So it was the 1850 transferred into there. Parts and things, yeah.
So that's going to need to go up then, isn't it? Because at the moment
Well, that's probably
we've got 60.
extraordinary, we've got 60 and that the gambles and extraordinary expenditures. Probably would up it to 100,000 anyway. Just as a,
So materials and bits is 100.
what are we looking at?
Ground maintenance is
Ground
the same as
maintenance.
it is. So materials going to 100. Ground maintenance.
So we've got 240 for grounds maintenance, but we've got a local coming in at 288 for one cut. That's going to need to change, isn't it?
So we're probably looking at to 750 to allow a bit of wiggle from,
Well, it was 240 and 288, so if we said 600 plus a little bit of a bolster in case the new tender price is up.
650.
650?
Just to go up.
And then fuel, we had £70 in the budget, but we're already up to 107. Now that's for the strimmer, isn't it?
That'll be nice over the winter.
It will, but there'll still be some,
Yeah.
won't there? So do we set it at 120
For fuel.
fuel? I mean, it fluctuates in price, so you've no idea where it's going to be this time next year. Well, wouldn't it be lovely if it is? Graves other. What is Graves other?
Here's another is the grade digger.
Is that the grave digger? Just him?
Just which we just moved 1,200 down to, so we're 600 for that. it's more than covered, yeah, so effectively, it's covered by any
So his
information.
last bill was 1,200, so I'm guessing that's two.
No, it wasn't, it was three, but he's so, no, he was so slow in putting some in.
All the
He was
huge
paid
ones,
300
Yeah.
for two, so it was 300 and then 300, and then all the undertakers in the whole area said, "Is he doing it for 300?" And we were like, And anyway, the next one came in that he was getting more, and he was charging 600 everywhere else. So,
I don't, so, I think we should keep that as a 600 then, because
don't know how many grades we're going to
we
get.
don't know how many grapes we're going to have, and if we do, it's
Covered by
covered by
income.
the income from grapes. So, and if we leave that as 600, it then allows, if we needed to come back and do some topping or anything like that.
But some of them are
If
first
we're not
yeah.
for so it's more just that sort of feeding.
Right, so leave that at 600 then.
Waste disposal area. We're like 450 in there for a skip.
Yeah, I think we have to, because we've now put it off. Haven't we?
Just go, yeah, waste disposal. Because I think if that should
We
allow.
need to get that done this spring. Every time we looked at it and thought we were going to do it, we've had bad weather, and it just needs to happen.
I think we've got more interest in getting it done as well. And I don't know if you know where Mark, there's lots of people in the parish that like building out now. So
Okay, so
we have an army of people living there.
So it's
What was the £14 for the payment for the order one?
Guess with it, so
Fine, I just,
how much you pay to leave it? I think it might be Pete's cleaning through or something.
oh, that's fine.
Yeah, Pete's expenses, when he was asked to clean it, they did it all, sent them for remembrance, as part of his expenses.
No, it's fine.
Is that all right,
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I was just thinking it was a very small amount.
Because
Because it gets, to do anything, normally at the memorial, it's silly money. Would just be a solution, I would think, wouldn't it?
So do we leave that budget as is?
I can't remember what the one was the year before, when we had them come out and,
Do the
we do working on lettering or anything else?
like
£1,100 was what was spent when we got them to come and do. They did a little bit of filling in, and then they did some lead letters, didn't they? Before last, not the recent one, but the last year's. Yeah. Oh, honestly, seriously, yeah. It was quite expensive. I mean, they did come and spend quite a considerable amount of time there. And the lead letters did take quite a bit of doing.
That's why we were everybody letters this time there. But
But I don't think there's not many of the letters cracked or anything now.
so it's just a bit, we want to come out, get them checked and do a bit of filming
It's,
again,
yeah.
so.
But not with that horrible funky, what looked like sealant from a bath or something. Honestly, on the front there was this bit where it just looked like somebody'd gone along with mastic or something. It was horrible. So yeah, it needs to be properly done with something to seal it. So yeah, so I think with that that amount we've got there will be utilised. That's £700 probably. So if we leave it at 750 for next year, is everybody in favour of that? Hazel plants up, but those would be the ones that are going in the War Memorial troughs at the front, and also plants pansies and appropriate flowers down at the War Memorial. And
This year as well.
oh yeah, people went to
That's spent a bit more because of that.
Yeah, but generally, I mean, £40 doesn't go very far with that, does it? Let's be honest. So I think we probably need to up that one, give them the right finger to people that pinched them the last time.
Oh.
Honestly, should man have a man came up to us. But they've actually moved. Yeah, we did hear it. We did hear that it got yours. They moved one of the big tubs. They moved it behind the hedge, and then obviously just held themselves all the last time. No, Peter found it behind the hedge.
Given we're 79, do we anticipate more this year, or
just stay, just go
go
for,
100?
no, let's go with 80. Because we're hopefully not going to have to replace ones again. And she did a really good job getting them some plants plus at a very good rate. So, actually we might need to find somebody else to do that. I might be one of them, I suppose. Now, that is the PA cost.
Which we've not an invoice yet.
No, because he's always high, but he was charging us more than £100. I'm sure it's now 120. So I think we need to up that, I'm sorry to say, by another £20 there, and we might even go
I
again.
think we've got to 130.
It's a little bit of a...
Cushion, I think.
Is there there's no cost for the road closures or anything?
No.
So there's no, I'm just thinking there's no other associated cost.
Pretty costs that we went out.
No, the bridge donated those.
About flowers, we do it in flowers, we do it in
The reeds.
So, Parish Council, or
That come from the parishes, Fields Down, Jackson.
Yeah.
So we as the cemetery don't have any flowers other than the hazel plants.
Okay.
And the WI are so good with their lovely little knitted and crocheted poppies, aren't they? I love the little ones. I just suddenly remembered there that that would be a good one for our too. The WI for the lovely decorations that they festoons, I think is the best. The wall was just festooned, wasn't it, with a bower of lovely poppies. And the little ones in the grass with everybody's name on was just such a nice touch. Right, that was a slight diversion, apologies. So yeah, so remembrance, can we put 130 then, did we think? Because there was no other associated costs. I think we do have a look at our miscellaneous, please, just give us a clue as to where that
expenditure.
might be.
Miscellaneous.
Expenditure.
There's no expenditure.
Oh, was that not? No, sorry, I've gone along the line and ended up with 79.
That one has to go away.
No, sorry, apologies, I've gone along the line and gone down one. So recoverable VAT, we've got some VAT coming back in.
So just leave that as 90.
Generally auditors don't like miscellaneous because it should actually be something, yeah.
Let's scrap that.
So do you want to just take that one out?
Okay.
Happy with that. Everything that we would do would fit in one area. Shoehorn it in.
I think our recoverable VAT will be smaller next year, looking at what we've got, but do you want to leave it as an optimistic? We've got 79 in to date. But we're expecting 170, aren't we? So we're sort of halfway there. So we take that down to 2 lots of 60. Make it 120 overall. And other than a little bit of wood treatment and gravel and sort of things, I don't think there's any furniture in line with you, is there? So I don't think we need to budget anything for furniture, because it would come under materials, wouldn't it? If we do just the maintenance. Now, 2 years ago, we had to replace, which one did you take? The mower.
Structures we had, or
So I think, yeah, because I mean, Peter at some point said we're going to be using his own, which is not ideal. I think we do need to put a little bit of earmarked reserves ready for a replacement strimmer. When you went and looked at mowers and strimming various things, do you remember off the top of your head? Sorry, I'm going to put you on the spot like that. Just the sort of amount of money that a strimmer was.
300 to 400, wasn't it? Something like that.
it was a lot more than I anticipated for them, but
Is it one of the ones with the harness on?
it's probably
Yeah, I thought that's important, yeah.
The ergonomic thing.
Yeah.
Something called something around about.
I know at one
300, 400.
We were paying more for the maintenance contract on the mower than it was worth.
Yeah, I believe that, yeah.
I think, am I right in saying the old moor is still operational? It's prepared as a
I mean, it's
backup
not
if the
ideal,
other one's
but yeah, if the mower went, the
to
other one,
service and stuff.
the other one is still serviceable, but if the strimmer goes,
Yeah.
Peter just uses his own, which I don't think is a good thing. So we do need to think about put some money in for the strimmer. What if we put 350 in there?
Ooh, I haven't got that either.
Well, we might get a year and a
Yeah.
year, you know, so if we put some in this year,
Oh, I see.
and then we could top it up.
Don't know if we will get to 26, 27 budget without buying that. I think we will be buying it straight next year.
Okay, in that case, do we put 500 in?
Um,
More? I don't know what you think.
I think go 450.
Okay.
Because I think that's comfortable, and then that allows them, what,
No end,
that allows them, I think, a service on more, because we're probably going to want the service than what it's starting next year. For the season,
Okay.
season comes out.
Okay, so that's covering a service as well as
Yeah, that's
as
what I
potentially a
think.
instrument. Excellent.
And if not, boom.
Now, consecration is one of those things that we honestly don't know when we'll need. So, do we take that down to 500? Because at the moment we've got space. I can't see, unless the,
That's just,
because each side is different, isn't it?
so,
So unless somebody
should we
wants
push
to,
earmark reserves, basically?
Yeah.
Is that, well,
that's just in there in the fund, isn't it? So do we just leave that there and not top it up?
I would leave it, not top that up. Like,
Just to
we can just stick as is,
It's a consecration.
it's whether we want to,
Yeah. On the
for
definite fund,
instance,
yeah.
look at a reduction in the new cemetery fund to balance off, to reduce what
Yeah.
some of the other options
Yes,
on the income.
because we ain't getting a new cemetery with that amount of money.
No.
But did we not, at the last budget, get rid of the cherry tree as well?
That's what we did.
I thought we did, because we all went back to our respective council and church and talked about the fact that the cherry tree now was not a significant problem. And that the Broom Willis Fund should have been diminishing each year because it was set up to look after the graves, and Peter is doing that.
Yeah.
So some of his hours should be
Yeah.
coming down, you know, it should be coming down. And it hadn't, as far as I can tell last year, it hadn't come down at all in the last 10. So I'm not saying that we chop it straight down, but I think just a certain amount each year
Yeah.
for the time that's spent taking ivy off those graves and generally maintaining them. It does need to come off that fund to go to salaries, yeah.
I thought we had agreed to take them both out of the earmarked reserves, or for exactly that reason.
So, cherry tree is fully gone, and
Yeah.
if we look at then say oh, 2-3 hours a year or something.
I
Two,
thought
you know,
if we
just
said,
now,
if we said £40 a year.
40 pounds a year,
then
yes, that's roughly about 2 hours
Yeah.
a year then.
to look after
So-
the grave. I mean, it might be some years he spends a little bit more, but it's sitting there in the fund. It's not hurting anything, but it just would be sense to actually to use it for what it's intended.
Use it since its inception,
Yeah.
from what I can see. How long's it been there?
Well, as long as I've been on the committee, and that's for 2 years. But I think before that, it was over there as well, because I remember asking what it was when I joined. So did we just take the £42.87 out and leave it at 400? This
Yeah.
year coming?
Proportion sum of
Let's
Peter's
go up
hours,
into,
Peter's got proportion sum of Peter's at 42.87 and Peter's hours to that as outgoings. If that makes sense.
but effectively the cherry tree will just go into general reserves, which then will offset some of the things we've put up. won't it?
Yeah.
So, that means whatever shortfall we've got would need to be met by our parishes, wouldn't it? Now, the apportionment of the parish was sort of 40%, 20%. Do we need to check with the electoral roll, the monitoring officer? Those numbers. Have you got any buildings up near you?
A little bit, not a huge amount. Again, I think you probably need to check those near the end of the year to get a more accurate figure.
You've got them recently actually off. What did you say? Moving that to 85, is it?
I think so, I can on that. No, I've got to put it down to 120. We've got above that.
If you end up forking out for a strimmer, that would probably be roughly that as well.
I mean, there'll be that on royal invoice, won't there? But I still think the local grave area is that registered. There will be on the audio for the War Memorial service. The War Memorial people will be VAT registered. The plants, not that that's a huge amount, will be VATable.
So,
So maybe 120 is an underestimate, but it's just so crystal clear, isn't it?
right, so I'm coming up with a shortfall of taking into account those budget figures we discussed and then the income that we discussed.
Just
we-
before,
we had,
yeah.
We've got a shortfall of 9,130. However, if we're then looking at, so if
What
we
we're
then
carrying forward though.
If we're looking at that 275, to then say take that back down to a £6 contribution and then take 2, 8, 12 out of new cemetery fund.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we should try and offset
I
it.
think we should.
You do that? Do you hear that?
Give me these numbers.
Yeah, he's doing maths as well.
Sorry?
You do the maths as well?
Yes, I'm trying.
Yeah, so I've ran the figures on the budget that we talked, and then on the income we talked, it looks to come to 9,130. Take off the cherry tree that we're scrapping the earmarked reserves for, it then bring that down to 8,555. Then 8855. We then take the 42 off the Broom Willis Fund, goes to 8812. If we were to then look at, say, keeping the parish contributions as the 6,000 that they were last year, rather than, which obviously we did up accordingly, it would then mean we'll take 2,812 out of the 10,525 new cemetery fund. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. Jeff, obviously, if you guys can take that, obviously it'll be part of the budget, we can take that back to your councils and agree it.
So effectively, if the numbers are the same in each, and stay the same ratios,
Yeah.
the contributions that you paid last year will be the same as this year, won't they? And that's what we could use if I can keep the precepts down everywhere.
Can I ever see the email back?
Following
The
yeah, I don't know, I've searched it, electoral figures, with hundreds of emails. What would you have called it, if you like electoral figures?
Electoral
That coming from electors,
elections.
it was quite a while ago.
Just attach a new copy of the electoral roll, I'm sure we'll sort something from January something.
I did ask for the figures, I remember we came with
I know the email.
Yeah.
Can't wait for you to see it.
I'm just going around with the dome and doing it, and I'll get there. I mean, as you say, it could change.
Yeah, well, we can,
You know,
I said like budget much, I guess, but
where do all the houses that are on the Virgin affairs, are they across the North Farm, or are they? You guys-
Virgin shoot guys, isn't it?
Sorry?
The new houses that they're building at Virgin, are they part of your parish? or are
Yeah,
they-
no,
They're part of you. Oh, Thurston, look guys, we might be, we might be quids in here.
We know it.
Well, I suppose you could new seat built up in Thurston as well.
Sorry?
You've got the 8 bungalows.
It's 8 bungalows.
Yeah,
And
The cocktail belt is expanding.
just the stuff.
are any of them occupied now?
Are they?
Are any of them occupied?
Oh, yeah,
I've
two
seen like-
or three of them, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen like when I've come back in the evening.
Right, electoral numbers, 2nd of October we gave in.
So fairly recent then.
Electoral numbers, Thurston 461, 461, Felton 894, Newton Ward Swallow 868.
So,
So I worked out it's Felton 40%,
that's you.
Newton Swallow 39%, Thurston 21%.
Yeah.
So we've stayed the same.
Yeah,
You guys
it was
have
marginal changes, yeah.
Okay. So there might be some to the apportionment of our parish contributions, it will be slightly different to last year, but only marginal figures, yeah.
Margin figures in that box.
Yeah, we will. But it just gives you an idea that yours will be slightly less, yours will be slightly more.
Just remember the holiday homes are not permanent residences.
What, the ones that did?
Virgin, yeah.
No.
No, they're not.
No, you're talking about the car, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't thinking about the caravan.
Oh, right.
Did they pay council tax
No.
and stuff?
Well, they're supposed to, but they can't do it.
Oh, right, okay. I didn't even know that they did of it. So, no, I was thinking of the ones, the big estate they're building up to the hospital.
The asphalt will do.
Yeah, well,
That's
it's
one.
there's so many in that now.
Like four, I don't know.
They'll be up to 23. Get to there.
I think we're still a long way off getting the export portions.
It wouldn't be me, I wouldn't.
Funny, isn't it, how build these sites sometimes and expect everybody to be happy when there's no services anywhere near.
That's the one that went to, was it the national planning or something?
What?
That put that in through the project.
Yeah,
The county council rejected it, I think, and it
Yeah.
went to the national planning office or
Right.
something.
Wow.
everybody opposed it.
Okay then, everybody happy with what we've done with the budget so far? And can you then go back to your respective councils, but at the moment, can you approve it as we've worked it out?
Yep.
Yeah, everybody show hands please, thank you. And obviously we've just done the contributions based on the numbers that we have, but we'll obviously redid a little bit. So that brings us to number 6. Are you alright to move on? Or are you still doing okay. I mean, obviously we've realised why Amy's not with us, and our thoughts go out to her. So I'm going to get a card and I'm going to buy a pot plant because she has extreme hay fever and flowers are not always the best for her. And just send it to her on our email. Well, I thought that was parish.
Yeah,
I suppose it's parish. So yeah, so I know she's alright with things that are planty as long as they're not flowering. Although I did wonder about the Christmas cactus that's going to flower every year at the same time in my field. It's only because you're prickly old, so. Sorry. So yeah, so basically everything's running along really well in the cemetery, apart from there seems to be a couple of residents along this side of the cemetery who seem to think it's absolutely fine to build their refuse from the garden over the wall into the cemetery.
Problem for a while, that, isn't it?
It has. Now, when we did our walk around, there was a small amount of garden stuff that looked like it could be cut and it just dropped. But since then, it's got worse. So, what Hazel, I think, would like us to approve is that we maybe send a letter to all the residents along that run and just say, please remember that the cemetery is not a dumping ground effectively. Could you keep your garden? If you are cutting back trees or whatever, could you cut back your own and make sure
Use your own garden.
retrieve them if they drop into the cemetery rather than just letting them stay there. And I think we also noticed when we did the walk around that there were more bits and pieces getting into that waste bit, weren't we? So
Just getting that clear.
if we can get it cleared, it's going to make our lives a lot easier. And then it's very obvious if somebody dumps something, because we don't want fly tipping. It's just horrible. So yeah, so that was the biggie. And as you go through the cemetery along the path, Peter had commented that some of the, like the evergreen oak and a couple of the bushes and things like that were just encroaching too much onto the path, and he would just like, I will say so to him when he's next doing his maintenance, just to cut that, just to allow for access up the path and things like that. So is that all right with everybody? That we're going to pass that message through? I think he just likes to, because some people have approached him in the past and given me a rake about cutting things. I think he just likes to run it past us, but he thinks it needs doing. The other thing that we did notice when we were on our walkabout was that we've got the seat. That evergreen tree was quite droopy, and we needed the seat raising, but we also needed the bottom branches doing a trim. So I mean, as it's dying back now, it seems a kind of ideal time to do that. So perhaps even put that on his job list as well. So I think that was the majority of the sort of issues she was worried about. But that's it. And then income, obviously, was the amount that was reported before, and potential headstone after this stuff. Anything else anybody can think of, just for cemetery works report? But I mean, obviously works we can refer to that. Moving on to works, I mean, obviously we have agreed that in the spring we're going to get a skip and empty the waste rot bit. But that's obviously weather dependent, and you know, I think if we wait till sort of March, April time, the better chance of getting some decent days without that being a sump for all the wet, and we'll be looking at the place if we're doing it while it's damp, rather than letting it drain away a little bit. We need to get the seat properly bedded in and on its flags and stuff like that, so that needs again a work day to be agreed. I don't know whether we want to try and do that while we have a clear frosty day, or whether we again want to put that off to the spring. What do anybody think?
To me, it sounds like a spring job.
That's fine. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Let's put that down on one of our community working days then. The War Memorial. Do we want to get in touch with the stonemasons and ask them to come and have a look at it?
So, can we not just treat that if it's just the ferns at the moment?
I don't know how far down the little gully goes. Might be worth having a look, or just see what we do. If it's a particularly frosty winter and you get a bit of sort of freeze in there, structurally that might be a bit of an issue. And it's stood there an awful long time, so I don't know if it's going to fall down in the next 6 months or anything, but it's just what damage could be done by the freeze-thaw process. And some of the coping stones on the cemetery wall are a bit worrying as well from the freeze-thaw. We might need to do a bit of TLC when it's pointing and stuff like that. Oh, they are tested regularly. I mean, they're not going to, there's nothing going to fall on any of you or anything, but it's just, you know.
That would be probably a spring job for you to do.
What I think is
doing that,
just
breaking and pointing and so on.
obviously we did get the bit of painting on the fence, but I think as a future grand project on it, because obviously we have still then noticed there's bits of rust come through again since the company that did the wonderful work on our phone books, I don't know if you've seen it, the plastic came out and grip plastic home box that are full refurb on it, paid in situ and all that stuff. It might be worth us something looking at getting it in the quote to basically grip blast the railings and the fence.
Repair
And then repair and then
repaint.
repaint. It's something that we could speak to and get a quote for at least to then know, right, if that's something that we want to do.
So would that go into the budget for not this coming?
No.
Yeah, 26, but after
Well, it
27.
Yeah, I think, because I think we've got.
I think they're all right as they
They're all
are.
right as
on
a
their
moment,
own,
but it could just be
yeah.
a thing that we look at in the future.
Yeah.
And whether that's as a one-off expenditure project where we then just get the invoice and proportion it up in addition to the thing as well, so. But we can.
Get the indication.
Yeah, it's one of the
start,
but
but, you know,
I can speak to them anyway.
thing.
Oh, if it's that sort of money, then no, but the phone
Quite a
box,
length of railing, isn't it?
they did a really good job with the phone box.
They did a really good job with phone box.
For a very reasonable cost as well.
It does look incredibly good. The number of people that commented on the memorial service was great. Impressive. Okay then, so war memorial, leave till, have a look at it, see if there's anything, just kill off with a bit of weed killer or something, anything that's growing. And just see if there's anything that needs to be a quick and easy action that we could ask people to do a little bit of work with a bit of weed killer. I don't think we want to be picking on the basket there, I think that would be a retrograde step.
No.
Even a bit of cement slip or something and just the cracks would be useful if it was.
Expand it over.
Don't be silly. Honestly. Map of the cemetery, you and I think you were going to
Yep, I
approach.
was waiting
people
for
around here.
a fine day
Oh, lovely.
to
Excellent.
get it on.
So whose drone is going to be doing it, or is it a competition? See who gets the best
Yeah.
pictures. Excellent, so that's underway. So we're waiting
Do
for.
what thing the fight day.
I was going to say a fine day, that's going to be next spring again,
When
isn't
it's
it?
not windy and,
Yeah.
We'll just say it'll be spring.
So yeah, so that could be April meeting, we need to move
sure
that
we'll
forward,
manage it
don't we?
by.
Well, fingers crossed, you know. And the new leaflet information from the Cemetery Notice Board, that was to be planned, ready for the new charges and everything, wasn't it? So again, that could be something that's thought about and done in the winter months, I think. Just with us all literally looking at the leaflet that's there at the moment and just coming up with a quote.
I've got the information, so ready for the new charge.
The new charges come into effect with the first of April, well, the first of April.
So we're about time to get it done. Because I think did Hazel say she's got a copy of it, or we were going to try and find the original
There should be an original
in the document somewhere?
in the document that you've got. Claire did the leaflet.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah.
So there will be a pro forma somewhere, so maybe in advance of
So,
the next meeting, which is April, but we could put the charges up without having a leaflet. We just thought the leaflet might attract people who could go out to the local undertakers and just see if we could drum up a little bit more business.
it's just a hunt through the documents.
It's just
There'll
like
be
people
somewhere,
do it.
if not,
Is it PDF files sort of thing?
sure, there'll be yeah, it'll be
I don't
some-
know that it'll be PDF
Probably
because
not.
we need to change it on a regular basis. So it's probably just a Word or a publisher or
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
If not,
It's not, it's
simple,
an easy,
yeah.
yeah.
Very easy.
Well, hopefully it'll not be by the time we do it again, it'll be better. Okay, has anybody got any other business that needs to be addressed? We've got Davison's obelisk, come on with that, don't see what the insurance on. items for the next agenda, we've obviously got the map that we're carrying forward, the leaflet,
I guess,
war memorial,
for memorial, cemetery close, report, and then comes to staggering. Don't quite need remembrance, probably the next one.
no we don't, but we do need to get Clark
Yes.
on the other hand. Circumstances change, you never know.
Yeah.
So it might be that in the spring we have to decide what we're gonna do about Clark. Okay, anything anybody else can think of for the agenda? No? Lovely, thank you all for coming then, I will close the meeting at